tidings. 2021 might not be any less momentous. So keep that in mind too. Hopefully, it'll be a little easier to stomach. So, you get a lunar eclipse and a solar eclipse in 2021, Sagittarius. And speaking from experience as a Leo, where I had a solar eclipse and a lunar eclipse within 2 weeks of each other back in 2017, it was really powerful for me. So I hope it's transformative for you too, if that is something that you need in your life. The full moon is going to be on May 26th, and that's going to be the lunar eclipse. And then the new moon is going to be on December 4th, and that's going to be the solar eclipse. Juno is going to be in your sign from January 1st through November 14th, and will be retrograde from April 12th until August 1st. Juno represents marriage, commitment, betrayal, and give and take in relationships. So, probably starting at the end of 2020, and especially with that retrograde occurring, you may ask yourself, how did I get here? This is not my beautiful house. This is not my beautiful wife. Alright, that meme's a little bit played out, I admit. And then Venus is actually going to be in your sign at the tail end of that, so that'll be a good way to kind of wrap up all of these loose feelings that are floating around. And that's going to be from October 8th through November 5th. You're going to have Mercury in your sign from November 25th through December 13th. And Mars in your sign December 14th through the end of the year. And of course, Mars is a very passionate, sometimes violent energy. And then Vesta, which is actually all about sacrifice and eliminating things from your life that no longer belong there. That starts being in your sign November 17th and will be there until the end of 2021. And so I feel like that's probably going to have a focus on your interpersonal relationships, and not just your romantic ones, but people don't really think about how tied to your career romantic energies can be. So a lot of times there's so many love readings on YouTube, but actually a love reading and a career reading really aren't that different. It's all about your relationship to the things that fill voids in your life. Your career can easily be something that you have a relationship with, especially if it's something that you love, that you're passionate about. So it could be about love, but it could also be about career. So you have coming out here in January, Aquarius. Aquarius. I know. Well, Aquarius can be about coming together with groups of people to reach solutions. It can be about iconoclasts as well. A lot of planets, Jupiter and Saturn, that were in Capricorn for 2020 are going to be moving into Aquarius for 2021. Starting out, we have the King of Pentacles, so this could be an earth sign that you're dealing with, Sagittarius. It could be somebody who is in a really financially stable situation. It could be an earth sign person, and they're showing up here in the reverse. We have the Six of Swords in the reverse. This could be about a move that is pending, like coming in soon, or it could be about a move that you made in 2020. And we have the Princess of Swords, who is showing up here in the reverse. And the Princess of Swords could be an air sign. It could be that you were moving away from these two people. So these could be family members. This could be like an ex and a parent or a child of that person. Let's find out some more. There's not really a lot here yet. Yeah, we have the Knight of Pentacles in the reverse as well. So even this King of Pentacles could represent a boss. And then the Knight of Pentacles in the reverse as well could be a quitting a job kind of energy, or no longer working for this person. We do have the Ten of Chalices, which is about an emotional completion. Not necessarily a breakup, but a cycle ending in a relationship. And we have here the Two of Wands in the upright. And this card is all about taking potential energy and your ideas and bringing them to life, turning that potential energy into kinetic action. Alright, Sagittarius, let's look at your month of February. We have the South Node coming out here, and there was another sign who actually got the South Node in February, but I can't remember offhand exactly who it was right now. Okay, that is all about life's debts and the things that you are going to end up having to repay to other people. We have the High Priestess coming out here. This could be secrets that you hold, or it could be secrets that someone else holds. It can also be about hidden knowledge. We have the Sun coming out here, which is, good things in February. And we have the Princess of Pentacles. Now, it's entirely possible that this Princess of Pentacles is the same person as the Princess of Swords from January. It could be foreshadowing about this person coming into your life, or that cycle, that part of their personality switching over to a different cycle for them. This Princess of Pentacles could be an earth sign, so this might be somebody who has both earth and fire in their chart. And it doesn't have to be a woman. This could be somebody who is just younger, and possibly princess energy is the page's energy. It's earth energy. So they could have a lot of earth energy in their natal chart. Or they could just be very grounded, like Princess of Swords is somebody who's going to be very grounded for an air sign. We have the Death card coming in as well. So that's a change for you. And now we have the Queen of Swords. Although I feel like it's possible too that the Princess of Pentacles energy and the Princess of Swords energy could be the same. But the Princess of Swords could also be this Queen of Swords. But I don't think these are necessarily the same person. I think there are a couple of different people. That we're talking about now. And I don't think that the Princess of Pentacles is the same person as the King of Pentacles here in this reading. The Queen of Swords is somebody who, as you can see here, is not afraid to speak her truth. Speak her truth. This is water of air energy. So water and air energy coming together. And then finally we have the Knight of Cups in the reverse. And the Knight of Cups is somebody who, in the reverse, is allowing their emotions to control their life, and it's kind of ruining things for them. Let's see what we have going on in the month of March. Well, interestingly enough, we have the Pisces card coming out for March, and this is a very watery energy, so we'll go along with that Knight of Chalices. It's a very emotional energy, but it's also very fluid, and keep in mind that Pisces is a mutable sign, so it tends to be much more flexible and kind of like transforms, and people might not, who are Pisces or who have Pisces energy, might not necessarily form hard and fast opinions about things. They might be very flexible to having their mind changed. And we do here have the Queen of Cups coming out. I think that's a new person. The Queen of Cups is like a very maternal, very emotionally nurturing energy. We have a Ten of Swords here too, which is some kind of ending. And Pisces, of course, is the ending of the zodiac cycle, and then it cycles back to Aries, which is the beginning. We have the Seven of Cups here, which can be all about different options that you feel like you have. And the thing is about the Seven of Cups is you might not necessarily have all of those options available to you. And you might not necessarily want all of those things either. But it's about all of these new things being open. So if there is a Ten of Swords ending, there might be then a new cycle coming in. We have the Eight of Swords, which is about feeling trapped, but you aren't necessarily trapped just because you feel trapped. Because we have the Two of Swords here in the upright too, so definitely with that Seven of Cups and the Two of Swords, there's choices that you have in front of you. And certainly enough, we have the other Seven of Cups coming out for the month of March, so I think March is full of choices for you. This Queen of Cups is water of water energy, and this may be a person that it could be like a mother or some kind of figure in your life who intervenes in some way as a counselor. here we have the month of April. Let's look at April for you, Sagittarius. We have your Jupiter return, which is about beliefs. So your spiritual enlightenment and your becoming successful in your life. The Six of Pentacles. In the upright here, it is about being able to provide charity to others. We have the Five of Pentacles also coming out now in the reverse. So I think what is happening now is that in April you are able to give money to people because you know what it feels like to be in the position of needing someone else's charity or support financially. And we also have here the Eight of Pentacles coming out in the upright, which is really good. That's a good, stable career energy. That's being very established in your place of work. We have the Universe coming out here as well, which is like the World card. I see a lot of success and a lot of good things, basically the world being your oyster in the month of April. We have the Ten of Pentacles in the reverse, which also tells me that you have not yet achieved your full financial potential. Things are very good for you right now in April, but it's not the end of this financial cycle for you quite yet. And we have the Seven of Wands here, which is about feeling assaulted from all sides. And because it's in the reverse, I feel like you are coming into a period of your life where you no longer feel trapped or like you are being attacked. Which definitely goes along with Jupiter return energy. Let's talk about May. That's what Justin Timberlake said. It's gonna be May. We have Neptune coming out for May, and that has to do with sacrifice, but it's also, again, that's very watery energy. So we had Pisces coming out for March, and Neptune is native to Pisces. So some very watery energy in the springtime months for you, Sagittarius. But you are a mutable fire sign. I'm sure you can handle it. We have the Emperor in the reverse. Somebody could be overly strict. Someone could be showing totalitarian tendencies during this time. That is an Aries card, so that person could be an Aries, but that doesn't have to be the case. We have the Seven of Pentacles coming out, and this card is all about having to put in a lot of hard work in order to achieve the payoff that you desire. But remember, back here in April, we did have the Ten of Pentacles coming out in the reverse, so whatever this job is, I think you have the potential to make much more money. So it might be worth it to put in the hard work. Let's find out. Yeah, we have this Queen of Pentacles in the reverse. This could be a boss. They're showing up here in the reverse. It could be that this person who's showing up as the Queen of Pentacles is making you work too hard for your money. The Seven of Pentacles here, though, is showing up in the upright and not in the reverse. So if it's possible to get a transfer or to have, it looks like maybe this person came in as a new manager or something. We have a Two of Pentacles here, which is So it's possible that there will be the potential for a balance to be struck in this situation. We have the Nine of Cups showing up here too, which is the wish fulfillment card. So it's in the reverse. I think, again, because we had that Ten of Pentacles in the reverse, and now we have the Nine of Cups in the reverse, it's getting closer to your eventual end of this financial cycle, which should be successful for you. And we have here the Two of Cups, which could be the start of a new relationship at the end of May. At the end of May. I don't feel like we've really seen that many candidates for a relationship show up in this reading so far. We have had a few people show up, like this Knight of Chalices, the Knight of Pentacles, that King of Pentacles, Princess of Swords, and the Princess of Pentacles. And then again, this Queen of Pentacles showing up here, but because the Queen of Pentacles showed up in reverse with these three cards that were very specifically about a work situation, I really don't feel like that's the person. But it's possible that right at the end of May, you meet somebody and you get into a relationship with them, or something could be affecting your relationship in May, but it's good. I think maybe it's benefiting your relationship if you are already partnered with someone. Let's look at June. We have the solar eclipse card, which is about revolution. Solar eclipses are like very powerful energy. For the earth to go completely dark during the daytime is intense. We have the Five of Wands here, and that's about rivalries. This could be in a work situation, or it could be in your social circles. We have the Princess of Cups and the Prince of Cups coming out. To me, that does speak to a new romantic partner coming in for you, whether male, female, non-binary, or gender fluid. And I think my cards are finally getting the hang of me being so hung up on not wanting to deal with gender in any way, shape, or form, because they gave me both the cards. They were like, you figure it out. And I was like, yeah, you figure it out. Whichever one applies to you. You're going to have a new partner coming in at the end of May, possibly. We do have this Knight of Swords. This is fire of air energy. Fire being fed by oxygen, which can be very destructive, but it's like when things don't work out because of logistics, rather than when the Knight of Wands is in the reverse, and it's just everything being torched because of malice or aggression. We have the Hanged Man in the reverse, and this could be about a sacrifice that you make for the betterment of everyone involved, or it could be a period of stasis where you feel stuck. Not trapped, but stuck. Finally, at the end of June, we have celebrating the birthday of a Pisces in March and the birthday of a Cancer in July. But it can also be about because we had this really strong relationship energy come in June. Cancer is all about home and family and your romantic feelings, for your emotions for other people. So not just your romantic feelings, but like your emotional states that relate to other people. Now we had death come out right off the bat in January, and that was upright. We have death coming out again in the reverse here in July, and that may mean that whatever cycle was started here in January gets wrapped up in July, because the next card that comes out is the Judgment card, which can mean, and it's also in the reverse, which can mean that that is the end of a trial. The Judgment being a trial that you have had to go through. Not a trial like a legal trial, that would be the Justice card, but a trial like a test. Test. 1, 2. We have the Hermit card coming out as well. That's Virgo's card, but it can also have to do with your internal speculation. So, looking within and looking at your feelings, looking at how you feel about different things, looking at where you stand with your higher power, all of those things. We have the Hierophant coming out too, and the Hierophant is similar to the Hermit, but also quite different. The Hierophant is a spiritual leader and is invested in upholding the status quo. They are kind of diagonally in this part of the reading of forming like a diagonal opposition to each other. So on the one hand, you're looking inside to see what's right for you, and on the other hand, you're looking at the people around you to see what's right for them as well. We have the Magician showing up here, which is all about manifesting the future that you desire. And it's in the upright, so I think that you have the potential to really make your life what you wish it to be. We have the Three of Swords here. Now, this could be about future conflict coming in, a harbinger, if you will. Harbinger of future conflict, but it could also be about past conflicts having been resolved. But we'll have to find out. We'll have to keep going. Let's look at the month of August. So in August, we have the third house, communication, messages. Some of you might have Leo or Virgo in your third house, depending on if you're Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising, and what your chart looks like. We have a Queen of Swords. Gift the gab. So this might be communication with this Queen of Swords. They could be a Gemini. They could just be an air sign. Queen of Swords is water of air energy. So a very flexible, fluid, with a lot of movement. Water movement and air movement. Emotional and logical movement. We have an Eight of Wands in the reverse, which means that it's going to be a long, drawn-out kind of a thing. This might be a long conversation that you end up having with this person who's showing up as the Queen of Swords here. or you might be personifying the Queen of Swords here, and have to have a lot of prolonged communications with people. In August, we have the Strength card coming out in the reverse in August. You know, it's really weird that I have seen in a few readings now the Strength card coming out in the reverse in August, because Strength is Leo's card, and Leo's birth month could be August, like late July into August. So it's strange to me that it's in its detriment here. But this could be about being exhausted by this amount of communication that has to be had. There's a 5 of Cups coming out, which is disappointment. We have a 4 of Pentacles in the reverse, and this can be about not having saved in the past and needing money now. It can also have to do with not holding on to something tightly enough, or holding on too tightly. And then finally, you're weighing your options here, and it's possible that you're not crazy. You're not crazy about any of them. Alright, so now we are on into September. And the first card we have coming out is Pluto. Now, Pluto has been in Capricorn for all of 2020, and I think will be in Capricorn again in 2021. But it's all about transformation. And Pluto is a planet that often is, it's said that it's also not a planet. And so, is it a planet? Is it not a planet? It's kind of always up in the air, based on different criteria that people use at different times. We have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. This could be a reversal of fortune in September. The 5 of Swords in the reverse. 5 of Swords is about a victory, but at what cost? And if the card shows up in the reverse, it could be a situation where someone is victorious over you, and it damages that relationship with that person beyond repair. We have the 10 of Cups in the reverse. This could be, again, with the 5 of Swords and the 10 of Cups both showing up in the reverse here. To me, it looks like the end of some kind of relationship. It doesn't have to be a romantic partnership, but it could be. It could also just be a friendship. We have the 6 of Wands here in the upright. There is some victory here, but I don't know if it's related to this situation. It might be that this first part happens in the first part of the month, and then halfway through the month you get some kind of victory. So this 6 of Swords that's showing up here in the reverse with the 6 of Wands, it could be that you thought you were going to have to move, but then you end up not having to move. And then the last card here being the 8 of Chalices. So we have the 6 of Swords and the 8 of Cups coming out here together. It's also possible that that you end up deciding to leave, and that's the victory. Definitely some kind of situation that you're leaving behind in September. Let's look at October. completion. It is about revealing the truth of something. It has to do with old age and death and other things like that. Saturn and Pluto both have to do with death. So you've had Pluto and now Saturn here, and both of those were in Capricorn for a lot of 2020. But I think Saturn is going to be moving into Aquarius for 2021. We have the Four of Wands, which is one kind of completion. The Four of Wands is about having all the things that you need to live a happy life, but it's not a finality. It's not like being super wealthy or anything like that. It's just having plenty of food, good shelter, could be a marriage, those kinds of things. We have the Ten of Wands in reverse, and I think because of everything that was going on in September, that's probably casting off burdens or oppression. We have the Nine of Cups in the reverse here. Again, we had the Nine of Cups in the reverse in May, and now we have it again coming out for October. And again, I think you haven't quite gotten to your wish fulfillment yet. But we do have the Justice card coming out, so there will be some situation for you where justice is served. I do think there have been a few situations this year, Sagittarius, that were not fully equitable to you. Not anything just like world-shattering or horrible, but I do see a few situations where maybe you've been treated less than fairly, so one of those might be getting resolved in October. Also keep in mind that Justice is Libra's card, and Libra birthdays occur in October. We have this Four of Wands coming out again in the reverse. And we also have the Devil card coming out in the reverse. And to me, because we already have the Four of Wands here, I feel like you do have enough. But with the Four of Wands and the Devil both coming out, I feel like you are going to feel insecure about your livelihood in October, your ability to feed and shelter yourself, and therefore things are going to end up controlling you in your life that wouldn't if you didn't feel that insecurity. But know that you are secure. You're more secure than you think you are in the month of October. So don't fall victim to things like overwork. Alright, let's look at November. Now I know that some of you Sagittariuses are going to be having birthdays at the end of November. So let's find out some more about that. Alright, so we do have Capricorn coming out. Capricorn is very career-minded sign, and also like a very accounting kind of an energy. Also can be very logical and grounded. And some of you might have Capricorn in your chart. So we have the Ace of Swords coming out, and whether it's in the reverse or in the upright, it's about you using your own strength and ideas to affect change, severe change in your life. But it's a change that comes from within rather than a tower or a death, which might be a change that comes from without, or a Ten of Swords, which can also be a change that comes from without. We have Nine of Pentacles in the reverse, and again, this is very much similar to the Nine of Cups in the reverse energy that we've been seeing throughout the year. in your reading, again, that you haven't quite gotten where you want to go yet. And we have the Eight of Cups coming out here again in November about a departure from something that was almost finished. So this exit from whatever this situation was in September might actually take a couple of months to execute. We have the Prince of Wands coming out in the reverse. And Prince of Wands is fire of air energy. So a fire stoked by oxygen, and can be kind of destructive. But, or air, okay, air of fire energy, so more like a firestorm than a fire that's being stoked by pure oxygen. Okay, so this could be a situation in which you burn bridges through being overly logical. It's very similar to Knight of Swords energy. We have the Six of Pentacles in the reverse, and this can be about having to borrow money from somebody else. But we do have the Ace of Cups here in the upright, which can be about an emotional renewal or a new emotional situation coming in, whether that is a new family member or a new love partner. Alright, Sagittarius. We finally made it to December. Let's see what that means for you. Interestingly enough, we have water energy coming out for December. Water energy is about emotions and sensing, and we did get that Ace of Chalices right at the end of November. We have the Three of Wands in the reverse, so at the end of 2021, there's still going to be something that you're waiting for. We have the Seven of Swords, which can be about a treachery or a betrayal, and I have seen a certain amount of that in the second half of the year coming through for you. I have an Ace of Wands here in the upright now, whereas the Ace of Swords can be a very kind of a destructive energy because it's about cutting things out of your life, hacking and slashing through the underbrush. The Ace of Wands is a very creative, like a power, exercising your power to get other people to go along with your creative projects, kind of an energy. We have the Princess of Chalices in the reverse. So I think that what it is saying is there could be an offering coming in from somebody, but you won't see that by the end of 2021. And that seems to be the appropriate meaning because it's kind of here with this Three of Wands energy. We have a Princess of Wands, so I think with this Ace of Wands, you're going to start this new creative project, and the Princess of Wands could be carrying on that project into 2022, and that being the actual start of when things start to take shape. And again, we have the Ace of Pentacles showing up in the reverse with that, so it could be a new business venture that you get the idea at the end of 2021 and then you start bringing it into reality in 2022. Thank you. Thank you, 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 thank you. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate all of the support. $5, I'm giving away 3 free readings. So if that hasn't happened yet, please do feel free to fill out the form and in the link in the description. I'm using a Google Doc form. That way you don't have to put your personal information in the comments section of the YouTube video. It can be kind of like the wild, wild west out there. I do try to vet my comments pretty harshly, actually, but in this case, I felt like it would be a good way to then also collect the information I would be already asking you, like natal stuff to put together your natal chart. So, also, if you enjoyed the video, please like, share, subscribe, and if you have friends that you think would get something out of it, please feel free to pass it along to them. Thank you again. I know that 2020 has been kind of a rough year for a lot of us, but when things need to change, they will. And as much as it is tempting to write off 2020 as one of the craziest years of all time, it's important not to blind ourselves to the potential insanity that 2021 could bring. I really do deeply care about all of you, and I really do wish you the best. So please, enjoy the good vibes when you can, and I will see you again very, very